Good evening, folks. This is the fifth ending from our Beacon Pine streams. At least we don't get left in the dark in this one.
No, that can't be the ending. It simply can't. I won't accept it, and I hope you won't either. There are more endings, more possibilities. I can feel it. We are just going to have to sort through them all until we find the one that fits.
Okay, so there's Cloud's break. Instead of fighting the clipboards, we could run. Let's try the Cloud's break.
Luca began to respond, but the sky answered for him as the clouds above began to break, revealing patches of star-filled summer night. Moonlight filtered down, shimmering in the treetops.
Rorschach is mostly getting his cool down loaf on there, but he's got his feet on the heating pad. Slightly disgruntling Sammy. See, your ears are back a little. Sure, you can meet Rollo. You're not going home? No, I promised Rollo I'd tell him about...
Lucas stopped himself mid-sentence.
Promised you'd tell him what? Spit it out, bub. We're thick as thieves now. There's a juicy secret you've got to tell me. Okay. You can come to the treehouse and I'll tell you both what happened. Heck yeah.
Lucas saw Beck skulking by the gate.
So you're telling me there's nothing mysterious or creepy about this place? It's mostly boring and empty. I refuse to believe that. Big spike gate, looming mansion, rich reclusive owners. It even smells shady.
Beck grabbed the wrought iron bars and shook the gate.
Mark my words, you decadent nightmare house. You will reveal your secrets to me. Oh, dang. What did you do? First of all, I told you so. Oh, Beck is excellent. Second, hide. That's Eris Valentine. Who's she talking to? Shush. I expect you to return that suit in working order. Of course. As long as everything proceeds as planned, there's nothing to worry about. The only thing I'm worried about is what's rightfully mine. If that means making some unsavory alliances, so be it. I couldn't agree more. There comes a time to suspend hostilities. I'll deal with our common threat. Now, this is what I was talking about.
Beck's voice was an excited whisper.
Proper shady stuff. Someone in a suit like that tried to grab me yesterday. Seriously? Shh. You do understand that when this all inevitably fails, I will deny everything? I wouldn't expect any less of you. You just worry about your part in this and let me handle the rest. I can't wait to see the look on that Rube Care's face. Yes, the truth will come to light. I'm still surprised you're so comfortable with potential collateral damage. There's one thing I've learned. It's that change is painful. Wow, I was expecting shady. But that's just flat out supervillain talk. I wonder if she attempts to interfere with whatever Perennial Harvest is doing and, like, messes it up and sets off, like, the anti-nuke. If you don't mind me asking, why? Why are you doing all of this?
The mysterious figure retracted their mask. hair pushing out from all corners.
Oh. Plot twist. Family.
A chill ran down Luca's spine. His vision blurred. Beck stifled a sharp wince, and Luca looked down to see himself wrenching her hand.
An answer I can certainly respect.
Gran tousled her hair back under the face mask.
Just remember, keep everything nice and normal until the festival really makes that letter sort of, more meaningful. I don't need lessons in rousing suspicion.
Gran gave Eris a curt nod and disappeared into the night.
I feel like the hair ruins the point of the hazmat suit, Gran.
Chapter 5. What big ears you have! Lucas sat shivering in the bushes, staring at his feet. After checking to make sure the coast was clear, Beck gave him a gentle tug on his sweater.
What's wrong? You look like you've seen a ghost. Why were you so scared of that old lady in the hazmat suit? That was my Gran. That was your Gran? Yeah. Okay, well, I'm sure there's a perfectly reasonable explanation for all of this. Let's just get to the treehouse and figure things out there. Lead the way. The last time, there's nothing to worry about. Of course, we're not worried.
The clipboard finished writing with a scratchy flourish and looked up.
Just dotting our I's and crossing our T's. Well, maybe try minding your P's and Q's.
Mr. Nuncreed, arms crossed over his paunch, gave an exhausted sigh.
If there's anything you need to know, you'll know it. Absolutely. If you'll just sign here acknowledging everything is accurate, we'll be out of your hair in a flash. Oh, for the love of...
He snatched the pad and scribbled his name so hard the pen nearly snapped.
There. Would you like my eternal soul as well?
The clipboards looked at each other for a moment, almost pondering the possibility, then broke into laughter as they walked away.
That's not a walk, that was a full-on scurry. Hey there, Grishnak. Thanks for coming. Thanks for joining with the raid of with the raid. Let's see. I thought I had this set up. I don't know if it's working. Oh, well. Oh, thanks for the follow, Declan. We'll give it a moment for anybody to get through the ad break. Hi there, Mr. Nuncreed. Oh, it's been a great stream so far. We're actually an hour past when I normally start. This Beacon Pines is excellent. Luca, let me give you some advice. The next time someone you don't know asks to hear your thoughts, give them a good hard bop right in the kisser. Oh, Gran tells me to just keep away from the clipboards. That's good, that's good. Your Gran is a smart lady, Luca. Speaking of which, you better run along home now. Too dark out to be wandering on your own. You say that, sir. Thanks again, Grishnak. Oh, for those joining that aren't familiar with my stream, I'm Newt Mechanist, and I stream a variety of things along with a game called Noida. I always keep my cats on my camera. There are currently 5 cats. You can see Sammy there on the camera right now, and you can see Rorschach's leg. Both of them are tuxedo cats, with Rorschach being a great big chonk, and Sammy being my little tsundere princess here. Is this different?
We all know Beacon Pines is a great town. What you may not know is great towns grow from mighty roots. And
It's
that
not
is why
skippable.
You cannot tell the story of Beacon Pines without telling the story of one Sharper
It's not skippable.
Valentine. Young Sharper's keen intellect and strong moral fiber led to a grand vision. A vision of a community dedicated to a better tomorrow. In his own words, a better tomorrow is within our grasp, but it requires a singular mind to harness it. Lucky for us, he decided to grow that vision here, in Beacon Pines. And how does one grow a better tomorrow? With fertilizer, of course.
You really expect the narrator to have more of a mid-Atlantic accent.
But then tragedy struck. A scientific experiment gone wrong. An accident which took Sharper away from us far too soon. To this day, we struggle to pick up the pieces.
Extra, like, really
One
upbeat.
harvest isn't enough to stop the people of Beacon Pines. The spirit of Sharper Valentine lives on. It lives in the hearts of everyone with a dream for a better tomorrow. Together, we will follow his example and grow a bountiful future. Paid for by the Valentine family and the Valentine Fertilizer Company Remembrance Fund.
Okay, so that's clearly not different at all. The answers you seek will be revealed to you in due time. The question is, the figure intoned, are you prepared to live with the truth? Another day, another dollar. See you tomorrow, Z. Have you noticed how all the Perennial Harvest folks order the same drink? Decaf cappuccino with extra foam? Why? I don't know. Just thought it's a little odd. Pretty weird for sure. Well, the customer's always right. See you bright and early tomorrow. I can't wait. Dilly-dally.
William Kerr and Gus Valentine proudly surveyed the half-covered festival banner.
All coming together quite nicely. Couldn't have done it without you.
The mayor gave a half-hearted shrug.
I'm not so sure about that. Nonsense. That reminds me, I wasn't able to thank your sister for her contributions. Yes, she has been indisposed of late. She doesn't much like me, does she? Oh no, that's not it at all. She's just been busy. Of course. Regardless, I would be forever grateful if you could pass my thanks on to her. The History Museum adds a real air of import to the whole affair. We couldn't very well celebrate the story of Beacon Pines without including the Valentines. My father was a great man. You're darn tootin' he was.
Kerr locked his arm on Gus's shoulder.
I mean, the entire Valentine family. Present company included. Can I ask you something, Mr. Kerr? Call me William. Ask away. William, why are you doing all of this? Gosh, I've never felt one needed a compelling reason to throw a party. Not just the festival. All of this. It's got to be 100 down-on-their-luck towns out there. Why is Perennial Harvest so invested in helping Beacon Pines? You know what I love most about the agriculture business? Seeds. Seeds? Yep, little bundles of potential.
With a glimmer in his eye, Kerr gestured grandly toward the horizon.
You treat a seed right, nurture it, feed it, and it can grow into something truly special. You see potential here? Undoubtedly. The seed of greatness is already under our feet. All it needs is a little nudge. And the right leadership, of course. Oh. Good night, Mayor Valentine. Ooh, the treehouse. Oh, this is nice. Yeah, the treehouse is just a little further from here. So what's your buddy Rolo like? Rolo, he's... Rolo. Not particularly helpful. Sorry, I've just never thought about it. Lots of energy. He's funny, even when he's not trying to be. Things have been tough for his family since the foul harvest. It's about damn time you tell me what this foul harvest thingy is. It's a kinda long story. Hit me with the highlights. Okay? There used to be a fertilizer company here called Valentine's. They were kind of a big deal. Ooh, big deal fertilizer. It was a big deal to us. Their stuff really worked. Farmers loved it. So Valentine's grew and grew. Beacon Pines pretty much grew around it. Most everyone in town either worked at Sharper Valentine, worked for Sharper Valentine, or used his used his fertilizer. Things were good. I'm sensing a big but. Around 6 years ago, Sharper Valentine suddenly died, around the same time his father died. And something changed. Changed how? Could have been a bad batch. Maybe it was in the water or air or soil. Nobody knows, but all the crops died. Everyone blamed the Valentines. The foul harvest. Yeah. Valentine's fertilizer went out of business. Half the town lost their jobs. Sheesh. The next year, the crops came back, but something was different. You planted a crop, do everything right, and it's sort of a crapshoot what happens. And no one knows why? Nope. I take it Rolo's farm got the short end of the stick? Weasley is obstructing my vision. Yep, for some reason their farm was hit harder than others. That sucks. Things have gotten better since Perennial Harvest came to town. The Beacon Pines Reborn initiative. Yep, first thing they did was give the town a deep scrub. They even put us up in hotels, one town over for a week while they decontaminated the groundwater. We better get going. Okay, looks like we can revisit this memory. Oh, but we've got different results now.
Luca wrapped some tape around the hook. Hey, you never know.
Tape fishing. So we did this some time ago, and we did, what was it? Tickle and... what's the other one? We'll find out in a moment. It's got a bunch of big words written on it. Let's see that. We regret to inform you that your application for property rights with respect to the Beacon Pines CBD and surrounding area has been rejected. Who's that for? Applicant, Valentine Estate. Good. Good. So we had tickle and junk. We've used cling. So this gave us a feather, then a shoestring, then some tape. Now struggle.
There's a place to sink her on the line.
A sinker.
Sometimes the best stuff is at the bottom of the pond.
First actual fishing lure, you know? Message in a bottle. Malice 80 proof whiskey. A hard liquor for a hard man. Best leave that be. Takes a real piece of work to leave something like that lying around. Okay, now we've got pungent.
Luca wrapped a twig of thyme around the hook. Some fish have refined taste.
So we get some other words. We'll also get some parsley, sage, and rosemary. Pocket watch. Property of Sharper Valentine. Figures. If he had his way, property of Sharper Valentine would be written on everything in this town. Should we give it back to him? He may not even want it back. Man's got a contentious relationship with time. We'll keep it here in case he ever wants to pick it up. Interesting. The well goes deeper. About time. I was about to give up and go home. Who's the new kid? Name's Beck. You must be Rollo. I see my reputation precedes me. Welcome to Mission Control.
Rollo waggled his head with pride.
You'll find we've spared no expense in construction. I've seen worse-looking piles of junk. Thanks. Hey, Luca, you know the security concerns we talked about? Yeah? While I was waiting, I made some improvements. Let me lock this baby down for a little test infiltration. Can't be too safe these days. Well, I heard a drill. Then he rolls the window up on the car door. He goes all out, doesn't he? Always. I mean, this is sophisticated. This is remarkably sophisticated. Where did you guys get all this junk in the first place? There's a guy in town named Jeff who trades us junk for snacks. Junk food for junk? Nice. So, pretty sweet security, right? It was imaginative. I'll give you that. And words are not working all that great tonight. Luca, are we sure we can trust the new recruit? I'll vouch for her. Thanks, I guess. Okay, Luca, you promised to fill me in on the Valentine warehouse.
Luca sucked in a long breath.
So like I said, there was someone there. What were they doing? I don't know, but the place was lit up and active. Maybe they were squatters? I don't think so. It seemed more organized. When the man pulled me in, I saw some sort of equipment running. A man pulled you in? Yeah, but I got away. You keep saying it was a man. But they were wearing a mask, right? Yeah. And it could have been a woman. How did you get away? I grabbed a rock or something and broke their mask. They let go and I ran. Dang. That's intense. No wonder you freaked out when you saw your grandma. Yeah, that's another part. On our way here, Beck and I saw Eris Valentine meeting with Gran. wearing the same sort of hazmat suit.
Rollo let out a low whistle.
And they weren't there for idle chit-chat. It was a proper clandestine meetup. So let me get this straight. There's an operation in full swing at the Valentine warehouse. You were almost abducted by a strange man or woman in a protective suit, and then you saw your gran in the same suit talking to Eris Valentine. Pretty much. I'm beginning to think this town is kind of awesome.
Rollo and Luca shot back a look.
No offense. And so we can logically conclude aliens or alien zombies have infiltrated the town. And their leader is your gran and she tried to murder you. First of all, and for the last time, there are no aliens. Second, it couldn't have been my gran at the warehouse. I broke that person's mask to get away. The mask Gran was wearing wasn't damaged. But she's definitely hiding something. Maybe. Your gran is weird, but she might be the most boring person in the universe. All she does is sit around all day making jam. What could she possibly have to hide? I don't know, we haven't talked much since she moved in. Moved in? Your gran isn't from here? No, she came a few months back to take care of me after his mom went missing. Did you know your gran before? Not really, no. It's been years since I'd seen her. Luca, don't take this the wrong way, but are we sure your gran is on the up and up?
Luca gazed out the window.
I'm just saying. It sounds like strange stuff has been happening since she showed up. We could say the same thing about your family. But you're right. Luca, your gran is hiding something. And Pa always says, folks only bury stuff worth digging up. His Pa has got that sort of cryptic ancient monk saying thing going on a lot. Where it's except with a folksy twang to it. Like, tomorrow's work is best put off to yesterday. We need to investigate your house. My gran really is hiding something. Don't you think I would have noticed it by now? It's kind of the whole point of hiding something. Guess you're right. You know, including the locked closet that she explicitly told you you're not supposed to be in. Gran's been leaving the house for hours at a time this week. I'll call you two tomorrow when the coast is clear. And we can start getting to the bottom of this. I'm always game for a good snoop. You can count me in.
Chapter 6. Secret Lair. Summer forged ahead, but the nights only seemed to grow colder. Luca walked home slowly under the pale starlight, cautious to avoid any more surprises lurking in the shadows. Reaching home, he slipped quietly into bed, half dreading what they might discover the next day.
What time is it? Rollo, what on earth is that? He's got a Sherlock Holmes hat on. That ridiculous thing on your head? Oh, this? It helps me think. You're gonna need a lot more of those. Joke all you want. We'll see who's laughing when I crack this case wide open. The coast is all clear? Yep, whatever she's been up to this week, it's been keeping her busy most of the day. Very well. The game is afoot.
Luca and Beck rolled their eyes as Rollo strutted across the room.
If I were Gran, where would I hide my deepest, darkest secrets? Perhaps where you might least expect it.
Rollo flung open the cabinet with confidence. He
Aha!
coughed as a veil of dust hit his face.
I think it's safe to assume anything that dusty isn't what we're looking for. Or maybe that's what she wants you to think. Then again, any good detective knows not to trust their first hunch. First hunches are for suckers. Eureka! She lit a fire in order to burn the evidence. She keeps that fire going every day, Rollo. Drat, it may already be too late. Just think of the mounds of documents lost to ash. Okay, I'm gonna stop you right there. Can we think for a moment? Luca, is there anywhere Gran doesn't want you to go? Yeah, closet upstairs. So maybe it stands to reason that we should check there first. No dice, it's locked. Well, well, well. Look who stands to reason now. I have no idea where the key is. If it's really important, then she probably keeps it with her. Anywhere else? She has her berry bushes. Who has ever thought, I'm going to take this important thing and huck it in a bush? True. Anything else? Maybe something out of the ordinary? Well, she is always worried I'll break her fancy dishware in the kitchen. But it doesn't matter anyway, I can't reach the latch.
A look of realization crept onto Luca's face. All three kids snapped to glance at each other, then sprinted in turn toward the kitchen.
All right, Rollo. This is your time to shine. Ah, yes. You've called upon my expert detective skills. Now I shall proceed with...
Finish, Luca scrambled up Rollo's back.
Hey, this isn't my idea of detective work. Every squad needs a good lockpick. And every good lockpick needs a sturdy head to sit on. This is beneath my standing. Stop complaining and hold still. Got it?
The three crowded around the hutch to peer in. With the glass doors opened, a perfect porcelain display gleamed in front of them. Their eyes searched for anything amiss, but the only distinct feature was its impeccability.
Impeccability? Well, that was anticlimactic. Yeah. I don't really know what we were expecting. Like, oh hey, let me just yank on the random teacup
Beth
and...
pulled on one of the teacups. It slanted forward with a hollow click. The entire hutch began to rustle and slide under its own power.
Well then. Seems like your Gran has been doing some remodeling. Dude, only 2 types of people have secret stairs. Evil masterminds and superheroes. So which one do we think she is? We're about to find out. So, okay, so more of an unhinged conspiracist vibe? Oh, wow. Yeah, this cannot be good. We need to look around before jumping to conclusions. What do we have here? Barrels marked caution, explosive. And jam jars? Enough jam to feed the whole town. What kind of incendiary jam is your Gran making? Incendiary. She wouldn't have had me walk around the town delivering bombs, right? Only one way to find
Rollo
out.
casually spun open a lid and dipped his finger in the jam.
Huckleberries.
He smacked his lips.
A hint of brown sugar. And... ink? What?
Rollo plunged his hand in the jar, fishing out a soggy slip of paper.
Aha!
Rollo offered the slimy note to Luca and licked his fingers clean.
It's addressed to Mrs. Fratelli. A grand jamgram? It says, last night I used the disguise Eris provided to scout the location. The timing window should be possible. Operation Spark Plug is a go. Oh man, they're doing they're doing a heist? Whatever it is, it can't be good. Yeah, my guess is that something about this operation that Gran is part of damages whatever Perennial Harvest is doing, and that's what froze the whole area. So more of a bombshell than a bomb, am I right? You're new here, so I'll let it slide. But I'm the bad joke guy around here.
Luca jostled each cabinet drawer in turn. Only one was unlocked. He fingered through the filing cabinet, pausing at a bulging folder labeled Walter. For a long moment, he just stared at it.
What do you got there? It's my dad. Looks like some of his old medical files. Your dad was a doctor?
Luca nodded and caressed the label with his thumb.
Are you gonna read it? Here, let me help.
Carlos swiped the folder from the drawer and began leafing through the pages. He whistled to himself, barely looking at the text.
How about you actually read some of it? One sec. Dense documents such as this are a lot like a cheeseburger. It's best to skip straight to the middle. That's where all the meaty bits live. Oh, I had no idea we were in the presence of a preeminent scholar in dense documents. And cheeseburgers. By all means, proceed.
He stopped at a page and mimed, holding up a monocle.
Ah, here we are. Follow-up examination of Terrence Wilby. Patient shows further signs of paleness and malaise. Body temperature continues to drop. He now describes soreness of muscles and joints. This is similar to symptoms exhibited by Miss Wilby just a few days past. Still waiting on lab results from Joseph.
Rollo looked up with heightened surprise.
See? Creepy. Yeah, that's kind of disturbing. Who's Joseph? That's Mr. Nuncreed's name. Wait,
Rollo's finger traced across the page.
there's more scribbled in the margins. I've discovered more lines on the parchment. Could it be contagious? Mr. Wilby claims the tap water at his home has been contaminated. Perhaps environmental? Lab results only raise more questions. We're about an hour and a half over so far, Flexi. I don't know how much longer I'm going. This is engaging. Very engaging. It's like he came back to this report later and made those notes. So it might be related to something else.
Rollo scanned through several more pages.
Here, the writing looks shaky. I just couldn't help her. This disease, or whatever it is, progresses so fast. And with his wife passing, Terrence's condition follows close behind. Exacerbated by the loss. Enough is enough. I need to take matters into my own
Luca,
hands.
staring blankly at the cabinet this whole time, spoke softly.
What does it say next?
Rollo rustled the folder, trying to loose more pages.
That's where it ends. What? There has to be more. Oh, hey Flexi and company. Thanks for the raid. This would explain Flexi's question. For those of you that haven't joined us here before, my name's Newt Mechanist, and I stream a variety of games, including regularly Noida, alongside cameras aimed at my cats. Camera is currently aimed at Sammy, who is getting a good stretch on, and since she's wandering off, you could briefly see Weasley there. Let's see. There we go. Upper left is Sky, and then Rorschach on the level below him. And then In the lower left, you could briefly see Ember, and now Sammy has crossed over. Indeed, Frayella, many kitties. You could see Weasley's leg on the right side there. That is the table next to me. He wants more attention, so he's kind of strafing me. Yep, Frozen, this is my cat cam array. It started out with just a couple, and it has grown from there. I haven't really figured out a way to get more of them in play with in this configuration and still keep it visible. They are pretty much arrayed all around me and in an adjacent room, too. But yeah, each of the cats has kind of their favorite spot. Sky is the fluffy cat up on the top there, and that's his spot. He likes to be up there. Oh, there we go. Yeah, this is the across the desk cam. You can see. Let's see. No. So you can see my keyboard there. There's an acrylic sheet in front of it. And then in front of that is this, the little pillow is a draft excluder. That is to keep the cats from either rolling across onto it while they're laying down, or just walking across onto it. It is a regular problem, and I have jerry-rigged a solution. But yeah, if there's ever a particular cat you'd like me to try and find, let me know. We can switch over there. On Twitch, there's a little channel point thing that will ping me to look for a particular cat. Otherwise, it's largely a I can try to find them if they're available thing. They keep dodging the cameras. We've been playing Beacon Pines. It's like a cute animal version of a David Cage game, in that you're constantly presented with kind of story nodes where a choice branches off into different variations of the story. We've been playing for 4.5 hours now. It is still excellent. And despite the cuteness, while it hasn't been, like, gory, it has been dark. What? There has to be more.
Luca frantically shoved the remaining cabinet folders, trying to find another labeled Walter.
Luca, I think that's the only one. It's alphabetical, see? What did he mean, enough is enough? How did he take matters into his own hands? This is bullshit.
Luca slammed the drawer shut. A spider web of string connected photos of people from the town.
Oh, it is totally a murder wall.
Interspersed with hastily scrawled notes.
Well, she sure has kept herself busy. Is your gran a serial killer? Because I'm starting to get a vibe. Don't be ridiculous. Sure, she's just tracking the movements of everyone in town. Out of the kindness of her heart. She put little symbols by some of them. Yeah, Mr. Nuncreed has a check mark. And the clipboards are all inside a big circle. My mom's are both on here. Both with question marks. Gus Valentine has a question mark. Eris has a question mark that's been crossed out. Mr. Kerr has a bullseye. The killer has chosen her next victim. I don't know what any of this means. Whatever it means is probably not good. Speed bag.
crowded around a worn-down old map of Beacon Pines.
Ooh, looks like a treasure map. Not every old map is a treasure map, Rolo. Yeah, but every treasure map is an old map. Can't fault that logic. Look, there's even a pathway drawn on it. It starts at the entrance of town, and if we follow
Rolo
it,
carefully traced the path with his finger.
it leads right
He
to
jabbed down at the end point.
Town Square? That's the fountain in the middle of town. What a weird place to hide treasure. Rolo, that doesn't look like treasure to me. The end of the path on that map has the same symbol as those explosives over there. So it's not hiding treasure. A real bummer. Rolo, what's the thing you've been excited about for the past month? The festival. Oh. Did you just say gulp? It feels like a gulp kind of situation. Everyone will be gathered near the center of town. She's gonna blow up the festival. Not if we stop her. What was that?
Luca looked up from the map.
What was what? No, I heard it too. That was the front door. Which means someone just shut the door. Which means someone's upstairs. Shh, quiet. Hit the lights.
Beck flicked off the light, and they became statues in the dark.
The narrator, I think, is a really strong element of this game. It lends a good aspect to the storytelling.
Overhead, creaking floorboards bent under slow, deliberate steps. The kids looked up, the tilt of their necks following each footfall. Then suddenly, it stopped. Without realizing, they'd been holding their breath. All three exhaled shakily and glanced at each other. A muffled male voice broke the silence.
Hello? Oh, it's the most talented spy in the town.
A final few footsteps reached the entrance above them, and the voice now echoed down the stairs.
Anyone down there?
The three kids shuffled to the corners without a peep. As he began to descend the stairs, the man's voice punctuated every new step. Thump,
Yoo-hoo. I'm not here to hurt anyone.
thump,
I'm just here to help. Just
At the bottom step, the man paused, squinting to search the room for signs of life.
Huh. Guess it's nothing.
Rollo shifted suddenly. Luca gave him an intense, chastising look and whispered through clenched teeth.
Rolo, don't.
It was too late. Rollo was already inching toward the stairway. He screeched as he charged toward the shadowy figure.
Flaming chicken coop.
With all his weight, Rollo tackled the man to the ground.
It potentially is a flaming chicken coop sort of situation. Rolo? Mysterious creepy man? Anyone there?
From the dark corner, they saw something move.
Well, I didn't know if I had it in me. But there was only one way to find out. Holy crap, Rolo, that was awesome. Wait, did you just kill that person?
Luca scrambled to the hunched figure on the ground. Pressing his fingers to the man's neck, he sighed with relief.
You sure clobbered him good, Rolo. He's knocked out cold.
As Beck flicked back on the light, Luca and Rollo both gasped in stereo.
Hiram Tolliver.
Chapter 7. The Interrogation of Hiram Tolliver.
Yeah.
Still unconscious, Mr. Tolliver slumped heavily in a shoddy old chair. His hands were bound with rope, his feet tied with some loose string. The kids huddled in a circle, discussing their plan. One thing was certain, they couldn't just let Mr. Tolliver go. They needed to know what he was doing in Luca's house. After some deliberation, it was decided.
They'd run the classic good cop, something cop interrogation. Okay, so chill cop would probably be I feel like chill cop is going to be funnier. Because good cop, hard cop is, the stereotype.
They'd run the classic good cop, chill cop interrogation.
I'll handle this. Just got to play it cool.
Luca walked calmly to the light switch, flicking it off and on a few times. Mr. Tolliver shook his head, gathering his wits.
Golly, I sure got my bell rung.
He looked over to find Luca, who returned a calming grin.
Sorry, Mr. Tolliver. This was all a big mistake. Luca, what's going on here? Why do you have me strapped down? No one's fault, really. Rollo just got a little startled. Rollo's here?
Rollo and Beck emerged from hiding to give a timid wave.
Well, all right. Mistakes happen. You kids gave old Hiram a good scare. Let's just get me out of these ropes and call it even.
Luca glanced over to Rollo and Beck, who replied with skeptical looks.
Mr. Tolliver, why are you in my grand's basement? I'm here to help, of course. Help with what? What's my gran up to? If you'll just cut me loose, I can show you. How do I know we can trust you?
Mr. Tolliver exhaled with disappointment.
Luca, have I ever done wrong by you? No. And since your gran moved to town, haven't I been nothing but welcoming? Yeah. So why would I turn my back on your family now? It's just, all this stuff seems pretty weird. A board with names of people from town. An archive of my dad's old disturbing patient notes.
Luca gestured to the corner.
Barrels of explosives. I feel like you should have led with that one, Luca. I can explain everything. You just need to untie me. He's a master wordsmith. He can just wrap somebody around his finger with his silver tongue. You kids deserve an explanation.
Luca looked again to Rollo and Beck. This time they shrugged. Luca began to slowly loosen the bindings. Mr. Tolliver gently rubbed his wrists.
That's a good lad. This'll all make sense in time.
He edged imperceptibly toward the stairs as he spoke.
You see, this town has secrets, Luca. Yeah, he's gonna bolt and shut them in. A very dark past indeed.
Before the kids had even noticed his movement, Mr. Tolliver was at the light switch.
A past that must be brought to...
Punctuated his final words by flicking the switch and rushing up the stairs.
Light. Son of a...
Beck darted to the wall and turned back on the lights. It was too late. Rollo confirmed what they all heard.
He just locked us down here.
Mr. Tolliver's muffled voice came from behind the door.
I wasn't lying, you know. This is for your own good. You kids keep tight down there, and let the adults handle this.
They looked bewildered at each other.
Play it cool, huh? Not now, Beck.
They heard the staccato thump of quick steps exiting the house. The kids looked down in resignation. This isn't how it goes in Hank Atomic. For some reason, they'd always assumed it was up to them to save their town.
I find myself increasingly interested in Hank Atomic. Like, I know it's just supposed to be a generic kind of pulp comic book, but it keeps getting brought up.
Luca opened his mouth, hoping to conjure some magical words to make this right. Only a hollow croak escaped. The end.
Thanks for watching, folks. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments and remember to like and subscribe for more.